Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 16th day of November. It's National Indiana Day, National Fast Food Day, and National Button Day. I also have a quote. Eric Greitens says, "Teach your children early not to pass the blame or make excuses, but to take responsibility for their actions."
I love that.
I do, too. I think, if everybody else would do that. It's not me, of course. I always... Oh, wait, no, that's kind of exactly the opposite of what I was just saying. I'm just being silly. Got a great guest for today, Jordan Goodman. We talk to him about once a month. Always kind of get caught up on what's happening in the financial world, and I'm excited to find out what's happening in the financial world with Jordan Goodman, America's Money Answers Man, on today's program.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? You ready, Heidi?
I'm ready.
I'm not even covering the answers here. I should probably
I can't see it anyways.
get on the ball. Okay, at this time, I always like to tell Heidi the name of a real place, and she has to guess, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
All right, let's do this.
I had somebody ask me the other day, why do you guys do that little game? I said, why not?
Because it's fun.
And then they laughed, which I thought was really good. So here it is. Charleston Springs, Millstone, New Jersey. Heidi, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
I'm going to say golf course.
Golf clap for Heidi. Charleston Springs in Millstone, New Jersey is a golf course. Good job. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Jacksonville mother was arrested. Says here that she left the scene of a crash with an infant in the car. That's not good. And the 20-year-old rear-ended a Toyota, then left the scene. And says, I was driving and I hit a pole. I'm working to get my license fixed. When asked about the welfare of the baby in the back seat, she said, I was unaware the child was in the car. And then identified the child as her son. That's when they realized she wasn't quite all there. Mm-hmm. She had taken some Xanax and smoked some marijuana. I did not do that, by the way. I just sound like I have. She said she was extremely unorganized. I'm sorry, they said she was extremely unorganized and had slurred speech. That's probably how you would describe me right now as well. Anyway, she was arrested. Driving with a suspended license, child endangerment, and also drug charges. And leaving the scene of a crash. So, not good. Bad stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. Lindsay Lohan has reps talking about marketing companies that they're trying to reach out to through Facebook, looking for endorsement deals. So, any company who wants Lindsay Lohan to be the spokesperson. Anybody?
Don't all speak up at once.
For some reason, they're struggling to find somebody that wants that. Honestly, I think she seems like a sweetheart. She went through a rough patch, but I think that she's through that, isn't she? She hasn't done anything.
Remember that weird video of her trying to kidnap those?
Well, so you have that one thing. I mean, other than that, what else can you think of?
It was so bizarre. She's speaking with this weird accent.
That's right. She had a fake accent.
It was so bizarre.
That was only like a month ago, so maybe she's... Missy Elliott has been nominated for the 2019 Songwriting Hall of Fame, so congrats there. And sad news, Chris Pratt and Anna Faris, their divorce settlement dictates that they have to live 5 miles apart for the sake of their son. I'm sad that those two broke up. I thought they were a really cool couple.
They were a super cute couple.
So, but they're going to be 5 miles apart for the sake of their son.
That's good.
That is cool.
And they're going to co-parent well, I think.
I think so, too. I hope that all works out well. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FreshPatch.com, promo code radio. Girl Scouts of America are suing the Boy Scouts of America for allowing the group to allow girls to join. They say it's hurting their own membership. So Girl Scouts are suing the Boy Scouts. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, what if the Girl Scouts just allow boys and they just call them all the Scouts and it's just one big group?
Well, it's two different groups, so you'd have to have two different groups.
Why?
Well, because they're two different organizations.
Why couldn't it just be one giant organization
Well, then they would
called
have
the Scouts? And if you want to sell cookies, you sell cookies. If you feel like selling popcorn, you sell popcorn. Otherwise, you're all learning the same crap.
You're not. You're learning different stuff.
You're not learning how to start fires and build tents and sew on patches. You learn that in both of them, right?
There are a lot of distinct differences. There are some similarities, but some distinct differences. I think it's sad that a lawsuit had to happen, but we're going to move on. Didn't I tell you not to get riled up?
I didn't. You did.
Oh, that's right.
I said just call them the Scouts.
You're the one that got me riled up, Bill. I just knew this is going to be an area. There are people listening that I know are probably very interested in this.
I don't get it.
A lot of people that are involved in this. So
I don't get the controversy.
Okay. I just don't. I don't want to have people freaking out. That's all. Let's move on. 14 Navy sailors were busted. These are the guys, like the Navy sailors. They were busted for using LSD on the USS Ronald Reagan
now
submarine.
that makes me sad.
Too. What are you guys doing?
Come on.
You're the few, the proud.
Nancy,
wait, that's
didn't
the
they
Marines.
listen to Nancy? She said just say no.
Should say that right on the side of the USS Reagan.
It should.
It's the USS Ronald Reagan nuclear submarine. 14 Navy sailors busted for LSD.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
A Wallet Hub survey named the fattest state in the country, Mississippi.
Okay.
Fattest state in the country. I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. A survey by Euromonitor, whoever that is, they found China will become the world's #1 tourist destination by the year 2030. So how many years away is that if I hold up my fingers?
Not for this girl. I can tell you right now, I have no desire. No desire.
Can you believe that's only 12 years
to
from
visit
now?
that part of the world.
Had used some fingers to get this number. 12 years from now, China is destined to be the world's #1 tourist destination. I know some people that have gone there and have had an absolute wonderful time.
I have no interest. Do you? Is that like on your bucket list?
Yeah, I want to see.
Is
the whole,
it?
I want to see the whole world, Heidi. So yes, that is part of the world. So I would like to see it.
Yeah. No thanks.
A
I'm not. We tried sushi for the first time ever.
We did
The other day.
We shouldn't have admitted that because my
and
friend,
both of us, I thought we're going to hurl in our napkins. We're at this fancy restaurant.
a friend of mine wanted to be with me when we did it because he wanted to like.
Oh my gosh, it was a horrific
really bad.
experience.
Tom, I'm sorry. They made me do it. A Florida man jumped into a crocodile enclosure at a zoo about a week ago, was injured after the crocodile attacked him. What did he think was going to happen?
They were going to be buddies.
We're going to go pet this
pen
croc.
pals.
We're going to be buds. Apple cut back production of the cheaper iPhone model last week. So they're saying we're going to make the more expensive ones, and the cheaper ones, you're not going to be able to get those. So that way you'll have to buy, the more expensive ones. A new study found that drinking coffee prevents Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. That's good news. I like coffee.
News. I love coffee.
Now, does your dad like coffee?
My dad does like coffee very
And
much.
He was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
So I don't necessarily buy this.
No, I do. So he should just drink more coffee. I think that's, I don't know.
He drinks a lot of coffee. You've seen him at our house on
I've
the
got a
weekends.
link to the story. People, you can read the details. Heidi, read the details later. We've got work to do. And one last thing. Swiss scientists studying whether cheese will age better if it listens to Led Zeppelin music.
Are you kidding?
You can't even make that up.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life.
This is a guy who was filling out grant paperwork.
Oh my gosh.
He just didn't get around to filling out what it was. And then they walked in. He was in there listening to Led Zeppelin. They're like, dude, you going to fill out that paperwork or not? What are you even studying? He's like,
Wow.
the effects of this music, and he sees his lunch, on my cheese. Yes,
It's the most
that's what it
ridiculous
was.
thing I have ever
I don't
heard.
quite understand, but I'm glad that everything major has been solved, because apparently that's what we're working on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Joining us right now, we have Jordan Goodman. He is America's Money Answers Man. We talk to him about once a month to kind of get up to date on what's happening in the financial world, and we always appreciate it. Jordan, how are you, sir?
Great to be with you, John.
It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Earlier in the month here, my wife and I had a story where it said financial experts are warning that inflation could cause higher prices in Big Macs and Coca-Colas. Is it normal for them to use Big Macs and Coca-Colas as like an economy marker, or is that just something they're doing to try to maybe make it relate to the average person?
Well, I think it's kind of common just to look at that thing, because you're seeing prices going up across the board, and if these tariffs on China go in on January 1st, on everything coming in from China at 25% tariffs, that will really roll across the economy in lots of different areas. You're seeing it in steel and aluminum and other kind of industrial metals right now, but I think it's definitely a concern. It's one of the reasons why the Federal Reserve has been raising rates 3 times so far this year, and they're clearly going to raise them more to head off potential inflation.
So with the election that happened earlier this month, are there some impacts from that we're going to see, ripple through the economy as well?
Well, I think if you want to use one word for it, John, it would be gridlock, okay, because the House went one way, the Senate went another way. Neither of them is going to be able to get what they want, which to some extent isn't the worst possible thing. They can't do too much more damage. The Republicans are talking about doing a tax cut. That's clearly not going to happen. There's no way that President Trump's going to get the money to build the wall in Mexico. The 2 areas I think you might see some kind of cooperation on would be infrastructure. We clearly need to be building bridges and roads and all that, and maybe they can come up with some way to finance that. And healthcare. Clearly that was a top topic, and maybe limiting drug price increases one way or the other. Assuring people with pre-existing conditions they can still get health insurance, things like that. I think are some areas of compromise. But overall, I think it's going to be very contentious 2 years after the presidential election, and not a lot's going to get done.
Well, are there things that the average person listening right now should be preparing for or should be doing as they're learning this?
Christmas. They're getting ready for Christmas, because in general, consumer confidence is at a high level, and people are going to be spending a lot of money and getting into a lot of debt. So let's help them right there, John, because let's try to head it off before it gets out of control here. First thing, use better credit cards. You don't have to be getting these ridiculously high 18 or 25% interest rate cards. A free website to get the best cards is guide2creditcard.com. Lower interest rates, frequent flyer miles, cash rebates of up to 5% back. There's lots of great deals. But you got to go get them, John. Don't expect them to come to you with the best deals.
They don't mail those out.
They don't mail those out, no. You have to go get them. But there's loads of great deals to be had if you have decent credit. If you've got a lot of credit card debt at high interest rates, which a lot of people do these days, we have over $1 trillion in outstanding debt, then what you want to do is consolidate it with a non-profit credit counseling place that can get you much lower rates than you could ever get on your own, typically like 6, 7, 8%, something like that. It's considered a neutral on your credit score, and that can help you get out from under this debt, which otherwise just can be suffocating for people.
Yeah.
My favorite nonprofit on a national basis is called Cambridge Credit Counseling. Their website, cambridgecredit.org. Their phone number, 800-897-2200. They've already got deals with Chase and Bank of America and Citibank and all the big card issuers to get you deals you can't get on your own. Consolidate it, get out of that debt, and try to stay on top of it. Because, boy, when the holiday season comes around, as it is very soon, it's very easy to buy things. You're going to save so much money because they're on sale. Well, if you don't have the money, it's not going to save you money if you have to pay interest on it.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw a link to both of the things we talked about there in our show notes to make it easy for people to find. And I'll also throw a link to your website, moneyanswers.com. And if people have questions, can they reach out directly to you?
They always do, John. I get people from your listeners all the time. I've got a YouTube channel, all kinds of resources, and yes, glad to answer their questions at moneyanswers.com.
And Jordan has literally written the book on many of these topics. How many books do you have out now, sir?
13, and I just came out with the 10th edition of the Dictionary of Finance and Investment Terms. So that's 10 books, but it's one book, I guess you call it.
So it's one book, but there's 10 editions of it now?
Yeah, because the latest edition has all the new tax laws in it, for example.
I suppose that's something that changes often, doesn't it?
Well, we had a big tax change last year. I don't think going in the current Congress we're going to get anything, but we had a major tax change at the end of 2017, correct.
Well, Jordan, thank you again for your time. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks so much, John. Appreciate it.
Again, Jordan Goodman, he is America's Money Answers Man. I'll throw a link to all of the information that we just talked about in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Every year, on the 5th day of August, the Mars Curiosity rover sings itself a sad, solitary, happy birthday.
Oh.
I know. I feel sad for them.
That makes me sad.
Yeah, every year, August 5th. We should have done that fun fact, I don't know, on August 5th, maybe?
Oh.
We're a little bit off. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO.
Are you ready for a weird word, Heidi?
I am ready.
Dinosophist. Dinosophist. What do you think dinosophist means?
I have no idea.
Let me spell it for you. See if that helps. DEIPNOSOPHIST.
Why would there be a P in there?
I don't know. Dinosophist.
I have no idea. What does it mean?
It is a person who is a master of dinner table conversation. I could be a dipnosophist.
Could you?
Maybe not. Someone who is skilled at informal chit-chat. Oh, yeah, I could be. Not formal. I'm not good at that.
We met some beautiful people.
We did.
When we were on vacation.
There is a great story.
That he starts telling the story about a guy who...
No, we're not going to say what it was.
...accidentally made a mess of himself in the bed. And his wife's like, you can't... He said, the plates are gone. I can tell this story.
It was awesome. And if you're listening, Greg and Lily, we love you. I mean, that was so awesome.
Best vacation ever.
It was cool. Hey, again, dipnosophist is the grandiloquent word for today. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Now a little bit of weird news for you on a Friday. Modern-day Goldilocks story, Heidi. Says here, a couple's New Jersey home. They were on vacation away like the Three Bears, apparently. Right. And instead of Goldilocks breaking in, a 29-year-old Dirk Michaelia, originally from the Bronx, made himself cozy in the couple's home on Eagle Street. The unsuspecting pair returned to the home to find their bathroom and their bedroom and their kitchen in total disarray. He used a lot of spice, a lot of hot pepper, and the fan was on, the resident said. Hong Si is the person who lived there. The couple forgot to leave their alarm system on, but the husband said he believes the intruder was playing around with the system, then got scared off. The police arrested him after somebody reported that he was driving around in the family's SUV.
Oh, my gosh.
Going from house to house, ringing doorbells. It was unclear how long the vagrant was in the home. He was charged with trespassing, burglary, theft, and receiving stolen property. This is not quite the Goldilocks story.
No.
Didn't that one have a happy ending? She didn't get eaten by the bears or anything.
Oh,
did
she didn't get eaten.
No, I don't remember. It's been a long time. I have to catch up on Goldilocks and the Three Bears, apparently. But bizarre little story right there. That's why we call that today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now, today's moment of duh. And for the second time in today's program, we mention the Girl Scouts. This time, an Ohio woman's apparent love for Girl Scout cookies led to her arrest.
All right.
Noelle Hines stole a large order of Girl Scout cookies back in March. It was intended for a local North College Hill troop. The woman never returned the cookies or paid for the order. $1,600 worth of cookies. Multiple
That's like
attempts.
6 boxes.
Oh, Heidi, come on. They're not that much. They're worth that much.
They're so expensive.
They're so yummy, though. Following multiple attempts to collect, authorities finally, they filed theft charges against her. It says here, the cookie caper. She was also charged with unrelated charges in addition to the cookie caper. But the department joked, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So there you go. I've got a link to the story if you want to read what else she did. I have no idea. And I don't want to say I don't care, but I just don't have time. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. This is where I read a story to my beautiful bride, and she has to tell me, did this really happen in the great state of Florida, or is it all made up just to amuse us? We'll find out. Heidi, tell me this. A Davie, Florida mother robbed a pet store and told police that a hamster told her to do it. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
That is fake news. How did you know that was fake news?
I just can tell when you're lying.
I'm not good at this, am I? I'm really not.
Not with me.
I'm not good at it with anybody, really. It's, you know what? That's why
I just know your tells too well.
Kids, that's why it's important to just tell the truth. Otherwise, you get caught in a fake news or Florida scenario. So get that. We do have some good news coming your way, and you can always tell those are always true. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. You ready for some good news, Heidi?
I'm always ready for good news.
I'm ready as well. Take a listen to this headline. And by the way, I got to say, I think this is kind of a cool story. When a homeless man finds some artwork that sells for thousands of dollars, a man tracks him down and splits the earnings. A homeless man's life is taking a turn for the better thanks to a piece of art that he found in the trash.
Wow.
Adam, a Canadian man who has been homeless for a while now. My computer, look at this thing. It's going so slow. I don't know what I did here. Maybe I should close one of these 19 tabs.
Maybe that might help.
Anyway, He's been sleeping on the streets for a while now, but he found a piece of art while he was digging through a dumpster. It was a rare, unauthenticated frame from Disney's animated film Bambi. After uncovering the illustration, he sold it to Alex Archibald at a Commodity Incorporated place for $20.
Wow.
It seems that neither of the men knew exactly what they found. Later, it sold on eBay for $3,700. Now, instead of keeping all of the earnings for himself, Archibald said, you know what? I'm going to share that with this homeless man.
Oh,
I think that's really cool.
That's amazing. I love that.
He said, I decided to do the right thing. I decided to do what was right. I had to find him, and whatever it sold for on eBay, I was going to give him half. Here's a guy who needs it way more than I do.
Absolutely.
So I just thought it was the right thing to do.
That's amazing. I love that.
It took him 3 weeks, by the way, to find Adam. He embarked on a 3-week search, had no luck. Getting him the money was difficult because he had no home and no phone number. I took it upon myself to drive around for a period of a few weeks. Every single morning before work, I tried to find him. I found 2 of his friends. They told me that when they see him the next day, they would tell him to come in. Sure enough, he walked in the door.
Nice.
And he gave him some money. He had a manila envelope with $1,600 in cash, and then an extra $100 for him as well on top of that.
That's
So
awesome.
I think that's neat. And it's a really cool. It's a frame from Bambi, and this guy found it in the garbage, and he sold it to the store for $20, and then he got half of the take on it as well when he sold it. That's neat. It's really cool. What a cool story. That's why we call it Today's Good News. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.